these projects are just, I think, there is no value for money. So I think, Mr. Speaker, you allow, I move a motion that the utility bills should be deducted and sent direct to national water so that we avoid this crisis. Otherwise, even in the last financial year, we are discussing the same areas, and as if we are not getting a solution. Finally, Right Honourable Speaker, on the issue of electricity, in 2019, I got a project in my constituency from REA. The project is up, transformers, poles, wires, everything. But during COVID period, because of strict movements at night, a line was vandalized. So up to now, 6 years, there is nothing that has happened. When you ask Umeme, former Umeme, say that's not a project. So, Honorable Minister, the whole sub-county, people gave in their land on assumption that they'll get connection. But the entire sub-county is in darkness. They are seeing transformers and wires and poles all over, just a wire to reconnect the line and people get power. And I want to find out, to Right Honourable Speaker, as you are saying, whether the issue is money. Issue may not be money. The project of Tebea they're talking about, the loan was approved. So I think there must be an error in the equation, but the issue may not be money. So I want to thank you, but I want the Minister to find out what happened to that project. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Seku.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. I would also like to thank the committee for the report. However, it's very unfortunate that in the recommendation for 20 billion towards the electricity access scaler project, it is taking the House to temptation. Because, Right Honourable Speaker, as you are aware, the money that was approved in terms of a loan for this project was $331.5 million. And like the question was asked, how much money do we pay in terms of commitment fees? And I recall that the ministry needed 100 billion shillings for I think if I remember well, for counterpart funding on this project. So to say you require 20 billion now, 21 billion only, is to say that the project is not going to deliver as we expected. 2022 is when we approved this project, and 2025 we are still on your marks. I think something needs to be done. The Honourable Minister, when he came for this loan, assured the House, and want him to explain, the Minister for Finance, that they had the money for counterpart funding. Right Honourable Speaker, the House should not be taken for granted all the time. We need an explanation from the Minister, and we will need him to take responsibility for all the money that we are paying in terms of commitment fees for this project. Two, Right Honourable Speaker, we have a problem. Kenya banned the burning of charcoal, and now we are serving two countries. Uganda is the supplier of charcoal to Kenya, and the rate at which charcoal is being burned in this country is too much. Environmental degradation is high, and we are going to stand a risk of the worst effect of climate change as a country. And this charcoal passes through our border posts. So what is happening? I think Minister of Internal Affairs, Security, and East African Community and all the concerned need to be questioned. They must answer this question. How does charcoal pass through international borders to go to another country? Lastly, Right Honourable Speaker, we have talked about energy mix. And whereas we are talking about powering our areas using hydroelectric power, we should also be talking about how to support people with the solar power.
Thank you, Honourable Guzuri. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
We are paying taxes on batteries.
I have listened to a number of colleagues. What comes clear is that there's mismanagement of projects within government. Tibia money did not do anything, and now they are saying the country has arrears of over 70 something to pay. I would not want to invite members to approve that without understanding what happened to the money we borrowed. Because the money we borrowed could have solved all those problems. To date, nobody is accounting for how that arrears arose. We have not seen people being prosecuted for mismanaging the project. We cannot have these things as business as usual. The other time we were talking about Omeme. And the people who signed Omeme are amongst us. They are not from heaven. They did a raw deal and the country is paying heavy price. I expected the committee to tell us about the money Omeme owes government, because here we are grappling with resources. The other time the minister was saying UETCL, which was supplying power to Omeme, is owed 512 billion for supply of power. Why are we not reflecting that money anywhere? I expected the committee to give us innovative funding sources. For example, there's climate funding. I know World Bank and African Development Bank have combined to electrify 300 million Africans. How are we going to tap into this? How are we swapping our climate commitments for support with the donors who are ready to finance climate change? All those are not done. But key, Mr. Speaker, if someone is looking for a sign of backwardness, they need to come to our country. Why do I say that? 93% of the population in Uganda depends on biomass for energy. Charcoal, what? We cook using this, even people here in Kampala. When you cook using biomass and yet there's gas cylinder and you continue to tax gas and the cylinder make it very expensive, it means you don't want to save the environment. The reason we are cutting down trees, the reason some areas have become dry, the reason we need, our crops can now not perform well in certain areas is because there's no water. And all that is happening because we are depending on biomass. So going forward, I really want to invite us to increase that budget of.
Thank you, Honorable Cooper.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, can the Minister clarify to us whether the bill, the law that we passed here to rationalize NFA has been signed? Because we are getting feelers that it has not been signed. And if it has not been signed, by law, it means NFA has remained. So can you clarify to the House what has happened? Because we know it takes only 30 days. If it expires before it's signed, automatically it collapses. May you clarify to us. Two, Right Honourable Speaker, again, on the issues of incomplete projects. The chairman knows 2018-2019, water for production, your ministry came and dug these drills also in Kasilo County, in Soroti County, in Amuria. But the one of Soroti, the one of Serere, and specifically in Bugondo sub-county, it has never been evacuated. How can we not have that money to complete that project 6-7 years down the road? I've raised this with the ministry so many times, and it has not happened. Can we get to know why it has happened? The issue of Honorable Minister for Energy, the project under your ministry, which we started, I think it gives clout to government when you come and commission them. If they are completed and you don't commission them, what does that mean? May I now invite you to Kasilo to commission the project that you set up there, and they have not commissioned. Of course, there are some irregularities. Please, that is how government can be felt. Finally, Right Honourable Speaker, the issue of the afforestation. The NFA has land in Bugondo Hills, in the Bugondo sub-county. It's one forested places which has the baboons. It's the only natural forest that we have in Kasilo. But people have encroached, your staff are there, they are not helping the situation. People are cutting off the trees. If it is not followed up, it will be a very, very big problem in the next 1 or 2 years. It will just be a desert. So please, I want to request you to ask the NFA people to up the game to have that issue sorted. Finally, on this rectification extension, because when we pass that loan here, that will be passed to every sub-county.
Thank you, Honorable Nandara.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker,